if you need, backup, I got you.
You guys are awesome for that. I appreciate that.
Got the soundboard for you.
I mean, I need a soundboard. That's what I'm saying. So
no worries, man.
One of these days.
It's an investment, just to let you know.
I believe it.
If it wasn't the three of us, man.
Yeah.
This new camera that I got, that was an investment. So, but I know that you guys. Anyway, I'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the Muvioes podcast. My name is Keith Small, and I am here with the legendary Blerd Bar. The Blerd Bar.
Good evening, everyone.
So, everyone, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Should we just do the...
Okay, you know what?
Should we just do the bars?
Cool, sorry. You can if you want, if you prepare for that. I wasn't.
I'm already feeling like Sterling got bars.
I know Sterling always.
I'm trying. I'm like,
all
right. Okay. Who going first? Somebody else go first.
Okay.
His eyes, hailing from the land of sake, shinobi, and samurai. It's your boy Godzilla personified, Jayhawk in the building.
He is here.
Sound effects on my podcast. That's crazy.
You come prepared. As you already know or don't know, it is Big Dan, Rodan, coming at you live from the 215. Your comic books connoisseur, your sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes. Yo, I'm just happy to be here, man.
Because you can't end it with welcome you to another episode of Muvioes podcast.
There we go. Y'all be safe. Y'all be safe out here. All right. Blerd Bar coming in hot, too hot to handle. Blerd Bar coming in hot, too hot to handle. Stay a spell. How about a shot? Kick off your sandals. You're doing well, tackling obstacles, knocking them off. The goals ever boss your cross handle. So listen to the message from the Blerd Bar crew. Kick back and listen, because we're proud of you. I'm Sterling, ace trainer, Argent.
Off the top,
He got
books for days.
I want to go home.
Let's go.
Ace trainer.
I wanted my cousin to do this like 2 weeks ago, and like he's just like, man,
he ain't had no bars.
I mean, he probably could have. I didn't nudge him hard enough to.
Plus, it's different when you're a professional. Like I'm just the dude who has a podcast.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
That's him. So
Sterling's album's probably dropping sometime in the summer.
It's not.
Man.
It's not. You want the bars? You got to watch the Blerd
Bar. So, like the Blerd Bar, like seriously, you guys have been amazing from episode 1. You guys have like a long list of just different things with like entry level, like comic books, entry level video games, entry level like everything. You guys are also talking about like topics in the blerd community, and I love it. Like, first of all, how did you guys meet up in the first place? Let's just start there. Let's go with backstory. I want origin stories, baby.
The abridged version is probably going to be best for this.
Okay.
Basically, I worked with both these guys. Sterling, I worked with many moons ago.
I was literally 15. I've known Josh for over 10 years now. That's wild, yo.
Yeah. And then Daniel was a little bit sooner, but like 7 years or 8. Like,
it might be going on 9 or 10 years now.
Yeah, it might be going on 10 years. So I met them and I just vibed with them. I vibed with Sterling, even though he was like when we met.
No, tell the whole story. Tell the whole story, Josh.
I vibed because we met in summer camp. And so I was like the lead counselor, and he was like my assistant. And so I was there to make sure kids didn't, die, right? Get back home.
That sounds about right.
Like, just get back home. Sterling was there to like entertain and educate. And I was like, he doing
still me.
way too much. I was like, it was a great team up because otherwise, who knows what would have happened with the kids? Like,
I mean,
everybody got home safe,
bored or died.
Right. Well, no, they would be alive, but they'd probably be bored. But like, yeah,
bored to death.
It was actually a great team up that I guess was God ordained, right? So,
from the
there you
house.
go.
But yeah, and then I met actually Daniel also in summer camp counseling. He was my boss, actually.
I was the boss out there.
Oh,
it ended in scandal and everything. It was wonderful.
It was wait, did it really?
It really did.
It really did.
Oh wow!
That's another podcast, right?
That's another podcast.
Okay.
We gotta do a Patreon. That's what
yeah. No, legit.
Okay.
There might be legal ramifications.
I'm about to say
there might be legal
ramifications.
We leave that be.
But no, yeah, and then throughout, I think it was last year. I just approached them like, "Hey, you guys want to talk about?"
Now, I do want to correct you. I feel like I had the nerd podcast in mind a little bit more. Josh already had a podcast, and I was like,
very important.
Why not put us on the podcast? But then I was like, I want something that's very like nerd focused. And he was like, have you met my friend Sterling? And I was like, I have met your friend Sterling.
Right.
And
I was drunk when they met though, because it was my 30th.
It was your 30th birthday.
Yep. Oh, that was a good birthday, yo.
And Sterling literally were sitting in the bar, just like randomly talking about nerd stuff for hours. And
it was literally just the podcast.
It was an episode. It was a whole episode. And
nice.
When I was thinking back to it, I was like, I've always wanted to talk about the nerd stuff, but I didn't want to do it alone. One, to counteract the negativity that Big Dan has, because Big Dan has big negative energy. So I was like, I need somebody with a smile, and then I need a balanced person. So I was like, Josh is obviously balanced. And
wait, I thought Josh was the smile.
No, Sterling.
Josh
you know who you are. You know who you are. So yeah, we talked about it for a while, and we were like, we just got to do it. But I was like, no, we got to do it right. So we were. The Blerd Bar was in planning before it even launched an episode for like months.
3 months.
Because we were just like
4 months.
Yeah, we were like, we got to do this right or not at all.
That's when that investment.
That's when the investment started happening. We put out thousands of dollars.
Once
before.
I think once the soundboard was purchased, it was definitely a like, oh, so like we
here now.
We have to do an episode.
No, I see why you guys are selling merch.
Yeah.
Got recouped.
We started deep in the red. So this was a Game of Thrones episode before it was anything. So
oh wow. Yeah, I when it came to my podcast, I was just like, I mean, you guys know the backstory. I thought about it way too long, lost my name. Psh, me a new one. Fuck it. But like
Zillions.
when I listen to your podcast, like, okay, I have a confession to make. All right.
Actually,
I have a favorite
podcast.
I have a favorite. No. I
don't even know why he has us on here. Y'all have a blessed night.
That trash ass podcast. It all comes back around, baby.
Comes back around.
No, like realistically, like, love you, Sterling, you're my boy, and Josh, you have the funniest, like, out of nowhere quips that just amazing. But Dan,
sometimes they get me in
Dan is the reason why I listen.
What?
Dan
told you
does
that.
it. Dan,
What?
Seriously, like, first of all, 90% of your views, like, I feel the same way. And then when you say stuff, I'm just enlightened by a lot of it. Then there's a 10%. I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck is that, dude? But overall, like,
wow,
you do the damn thing, and I'm just like, I'm happy. So I had to give you your flowers.
Man. Yo, all right, man.
All right, well, fuck
Y'all have a blessed night, right?
No, Jayhawk, listen. Seriously, his quips are like on point. Like, seriously, like the things that when Jayhawk actually said, when he says things, like, you're sitting there just like, yo, he really got that all. Everyone's like, I need more people to listen to your podcast to realize how witty and intelligent you are.
What's really funny is when over the past couple of episodes, when Sterling won't hear it, or like,
Then
so funny because he like just keeps going, and like everybody like there might be like a chuckle here and there. The worst one was Alicia. Did you catch that?
Yes.
But the thing is,
that was hilarious.
I do the time stamping for the episode, so I have to go back and listen to the episode, and then I listen to the episode and I text the group chat like, "Yo, you ain't shit though."
I mean,
oh my God, will we have a Patreon like outtakes episode? Like,
we gotta consult our.
we have to talk with our legal team. That is definitely a thing.
No, like so legit. The first season was there was actually like we did get stuff in post, not often, but there were times where like I mean I was fine with it, but like people be like, nah, we not that we not there yet to say that and not come out unscathed. So
Blerd Bar,
right?
Or even if we did come out unscathed, like Twitter down the line would have found us and been like, "Hey, yo, this you?"
4 years later,
Yeah,
You'd be like, "Hey, yo, this you?"
yeah.
Like, oh,
all
right. That
okay, I got
so,
you.
like,
I got you.
It's definitely gotten better though. I would say like now, literally, when I edit the podcast, it's not like I'm not really doing it to make sure that we're not saying anything crazy. I'm just doing it to make sure that there isn't any like awkward pause or anything like that. Which once again, we've really gotten better at. So it's great.
Yeah, that's definitely something that came with time because I know when I was actually doing editing, I would sit there and like my half an hour podcast. I do everything on my own.
You said when I used it sounded like you said like when I was doing editing.
Oh no. Now I'm
like,
not editing a damn thing unless it's major. Okay. If it's major, then I'll do it. But otherwise, like right now, I'm just like, nah, I don't really care. I may do like minor edits for pauses, like you said. But before, like my half an hour podcast, if I recorded like at I don't know 11, 12, I wouldn't be done editing until like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning with all of the editing I did. So like
for just audio.
Just audio, because like me, I'm just like I didn't like the pause that I had here. You know, when you listen back, you're like, I don't like this, and it's just me. Yeah. So like gotcha. I had to listen to myself. I didn't like the audio here. I didn't like the pause. I don't like that particular topic or what I said about that topic. Let me erase this. Let me edit this. Let me put this here. And like after a while, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just focus on what I'm doing and like see how it works out. And so far it's been working out well. But this isn't about me. This is about you guys.
All right, but wait, one more thing. I have to say shout out to you for doing your own podcast, because even the podcast that I was doing before the Blerd Bar, I had people coming in, like it was like it's called Your Cup of Tea. Plug time. Your cup of tea, right?
Okay.
We talk about your cup of tea over a cup of tea. But the first one I did was about entrepreneurship. So I talked to a lot of local entrepreneurs in the area. The next one I did that should be dropping soon is about education, where last year during when the pandemic was like first hitting, I was talking to a bunch of teachers about just the state of education in general. But yeah, I never would have like done it like just on my own talking into the void. So shout out to you. That shit's scary as fuck.
I mean, there's 3 of us. I'm still nervous. I'd be like, what if no one cares? But there's 3 of us.
I'm fine with like 2/3 of the podcast, and then I hear my own voice, and I'm like, let's take that part, move it somewhere else.
This is why Jayhawk does the edits, because if it was me, I'd be like editing out the minute pauses and like sound things and like coughs, and probably even like edit some of the curse words just because. But Jayhawk is just like, nah.
It's fine.
It's good as is. He's like, what you mean these dents? This still runs.
And like you guys do different alcohol beverage every week. Like seriously, your ideas, like is there any like one behind you guys who are just like, hey, like push your product, like, hey,
not yet.
Not yet. I know. We
sponsors,
sponsors.
I hope you're listening.
We gotta work with our sponsor letters and all that stuff too. Like
No,
the
that's
business
true.
side of things, we're growing into a lot of it.
Right.
You know, like Josh is very focused on our edits. Sterling's very focused on like the people and the audience, and so the business thing kind of lies in my yard at the moment. And I'm dragging my feet. So, I mean, at the same time,
listen, you're learning.
Yeah, but I mean, like we own our name, things like that.
He
like,
also has a kid on the way and a kid living.
That's
so,
true.
Like,
right.
He has like a whole, like we all have like whole lives outside of this. Excuse me.
I had to send my child off into the yonder in order to do this. So I can only imagine. My child is 10.
Shadow realm.
Like your child is significantly, your child is significantly younger. So like to do the podcast and to have a young child. Like
I mean the Blerd Bar is supposed to feed us. So that's how it's the plan. Yeah. That's for real the plan.
Well, good.
We had a question about motivation. We got there. There we go.
Yeah.
We try and eat out here.
Yeah,
definitely.
Legit. I think we all three of us agree that we could spend more time on admin, right? And like the administrative and the actual business aspect. But at the same time, we all understand that we have like lives and there's like a whole pandemic going on. So it's just
exactly
it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But like,
don't be too hard on yourself.
But we not stopping, baby. We got 80. We got 80 episodes left before we hit 100. So you know.
And we're going crazy on that 100 episode
on that 100
point. Yeah. That's a whole block party. It's gonna be a block party. It's gonna be the Blerd Bar.
Blerd Bar block party. I'm with it.
I am all for it. I'm here for it. Like I said, I've been a fan. I've been a fan since episode 1, and like I love the progress that you guys are making. I love the progress with the merchandise. I love the progress with the video podcast from an audio podcast. I love the progress that you guys are making with like coming up with topics and how you guys are moving in that realm, and like definitely keeping the culture like just known and recognized, and let everyone hear, hey, there's someone out here who pretty much thinks like you. Like between the three of you, like I'm serious, you guys are hitting pretty much every corner, especially when you get into like topics of what you think of this comic book or what you think of this movie. Like just listening to your podcast, I definitely realized that there's no need for me to get into the Zack Snyder Justice League. I didn't even watch the first one. So like, yeah, you guys
like for those 4 hours.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you guys
8 hours. First of all,
straight.
8 hours. Don't act like it wasn't 8 hours because we had to watch it twice.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean for him, we
saved you 4 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you guys really saved me 8 hours because I wasn't watching that first one. That first one can go to hell. Like I had zero interest, and then when I heard the bad reviews, I had negative interest, and then when you guys are talking about them, like, oh yeah, I made the right choice.
That's what we're here for.
that's literally what we're here for.
And that is what I need. So kudos to all of you. Now, some of your interests like definitely match with mine when it comes to like video games, but I don't ever really hear you guys talk about your music interests.
Let's
hit some. What we got here? What you guys?
I'm going last wherever this question goes. I'm going last.
I'll say like I have a very wide range. Like one thing I'll say is shout out to is with JoJo Bizarre Adventure. There's like 1 or 2 songs that like slap for me. So like that's one genre, like anime openings.
Okay.
So like
which is a pretty good choice.
Openings and endings,
openings and endings, like you can get some real slappers. If you've heard our episode, I think that was episode 6, 7, or 8. It was one of those. It was either 4,
I heard it.
5, 6, or 7. There was a time when MIA was always on.
Always.
Yes, it's real true. It's so true.
Always.
It's so true. It's so true.
Always.
Like,
man, this man's car started to MIA.
You'd be like, wait, where Josh at? Fast dying.
Then just regular Japanese jazz. I've been listening more and more to. Shout out to Fox Capture Plan, which Sterling put me onto. Classical music, 90.1 in Philadelphia. And that's probably from growing up with WJJZ.
Okay.
Way back when.
WJJZ 106.1.
I love the local crew.
Nah, like legit, like it, like, and then there was what, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy. I just ran into Vince Staples, not ran into on the street.
I just saw he was in
I
Five
just
Below.
happened to be somewhere. Vince Staples was there.
But yeah, no, Vince Staples, MF Doom, New Jabez, which is anime once again, pretty much. Yeah, it's a wide range. Japanese 80s and 70s pop and funk.
Okay.
James Brown. It's very wide.
Yeah, I was about to say you don't have to name everything.
Right, yeah.
I was waiting for him to be done. I was like, all right. He ain't say Sade, but I was like, she on there.
I was pretty sure.
She on there.
Yeah. But
we know you have your background in music as that alone. So
yes. So I like to believe I have a pretty wide array. So I'm going to just talk about the things I come back to, my core.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Really into, I guess the genre is like electronic soul, like your Moses Sumphneys, your James Blakes, kind of Thundercats, that genre. Like it's like, I would say neo soul, but it's like neo soul actually, because like Erykah Badu is technically like neo soul. But anyway, that's really what I come back to. As far as the array, it's like literally, like sometimes I feel like listen to Tchaikovsky, and sometimes I'll like turn around and listen to Bad Brains, and like in rapid succession, just bouncing all around. Spotify, I have to, not that we're like sponsored by Spotify, but I got to give it credit for, because
unless you want to sponsor a Spotify,
right? Say less.
There's when you pick a song and then you go to that song's radio, so it starts like filtering songs, and I found that's how I found Fox Capture Plan, actually.
Okay.
It just kind of came up because I was listening to Octave Cat, which is like math. I really, really, really like math rock, like with ridiculous meters and like skill. It's really, really cool.
Oh, that's a real thing?
Math
rock. Oh, yeah, dude, I can send you some stuff.
I heard that, but
it's
I
really
didn't know it was real.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it on YouTube, and I was
this is
like,
new to me.
Okay. So it's like, imagine, it's like not needlessly complicated, but it's so complicated, but it sounds amazing. Like I guess
what's his name? Jacob Collier. He's like a prodigy and like does all these crazy harmonies.
Okay.
I never heard of Bull, but that sounds like it could be a thing.
I'm gonna look it up. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna look him up.
I got time.
But yeah, that's really it for me. Of course, I grew up in the early 2000s, so of course I listen to Gym Class Heroes every now and again. Like, just there's the stuff that my nieces and nephews going to hear on Saturday and be like, it's time to clean house. They're going to hear Party Rock Anthem, and they're like, it's time to clean the house now. Man. That's what they're going to hear, and it's like, all right. But that's it for me. Literally anything.
That sounds like a judgment.
No. I'm recovering from some things. So anyway,
I put him in the chat. Jacob Collier.
We believed you.
We believed you.
I'm just saying, like you guys can look him up. He does
definitely will.
He did some stuff with was it Snarky Puppy? I think he did some stuff with them. But go ahead.
Is it Dr.
For me, I would once again. I also have a musical background. So
right.
My dad was a singer.
Oh.
I grew up in church, so
I'm gonna say church choir background.
No. I also had a church choir background, but I also had. First of all, I went to Settlement Music School. I also sang for the Philadelphia Boys Choir. Like I've been doing this.
Say your credentials. Say your credentials.
Flash that Blackport. Flash the Blackport. Okay.
If you search my legal name, I have performances from like the Tower and things like that. So I do this for a little bit.
Dan Rodan Sullivan. You would kill him.
Excuse me, but I'm also like friends with a lot of people who are like musicians and Sterling, obviously, a lot of people from Kappa. Shout outs to Kappa, all that stuff. So my go-tos though often are like moody. They're moody. Like right now, I'm listening to NF a lot. He's a rapper who is very like vocal about his anxieties and depressions and OCD. But then I also listen to a lot of soundtrack music, like musical Broadway soundtrack, and don't know why, but they're on repeat.
Disney is a good musical,
like a good Wicked? Musical, like Wicked, like Hamilton, like Les Mis.
Kinky Boots.
Okay,
I have not seen it. See, if I haven't yet watched the actual Broadway, I try not to listen to it.
That's true.
But Kinky Boots is on the list. But obviously Disney, because I have a 1-year-old, and so Disney is on all the time.
Right.
Shiny.
Yeah, all of it. So but yeah, I'm very much into like alternative hip hop. Toby Wingway is definitely like top of my list. Everything he has,
he's really good.
He's very vocal about blackness and all that. So I think that keeps me centered. And then and then right on the other side of that spectrum, I'm also like My Chemical Romance, and like Welcome to the Black Parade plays almost every day.
The whole album?
Yes.
Wait, whole album or just like
whole album? First of all,
it's a good album. It is a
really good.
It is a really good album.
But My Alarm is Daybreak by Matthew Haggins, which is a Communities reference. If you've ever watched Community, there's that like that is my jam in the morning because it's my alarm.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm all over the place, man. I think we all are.
No, I like that. I like that.
Africa by Toto is the best song, hands down.
Okay, all right.
80s music is like obviously legendary. So I don't say it because obviously, I mean, I feel like that's.
Sometimes I feel like, damn, should I have been born in the 80s? Because like I've been listening to like a lot of 80s like music, whether it's Japanese or like regular stuff. Like there was a good 3-4 months where like it was just James Brown. Like
I mean, 80s and funk, like I'm with it.
Yeah,
I went back, right? I went back and I listened. I realized Michael Jackson dropped Off the Wall, which does not stop, dude. The album
does not stop.
Just magnificent.
I didn't say the prolific names because I feel like we should know. Like if you love music, they stay there.
And Off the Wall was 70s.
Yeah.
Was that late? Wait,
that was 70s.
Late 70s.
Thriller was his 80s.
Thriller was his 80s.
It's like the weird 90s music.
Well, the like, beginning of his 80s.
But that's like, it's like actually like early 2000s, but like.
But the man dropped Off the Wall, then Thriller, then Bad. Like, has there been a stronger, like, drop, man? Like that
consecutively? Nah.
I would put up Kendrick Lamar, but he hasn't. I don't think
there's too many gaps. It's gaps.
The thing is,
are you saying like back to back, like 1 month and then like 2 months later, and then
no, it was years in between all.
It was years, but I mean, the space for Michael Jackson's like unstoppable run is shorter than Kendrick Lamar's. Like obviously Kendrick's been consistent
or longer than Kendrick Lamar's.
Yeah, or longer. I would say longer. Right? Yeah.
Maybe. And on top of that,
yeah.
Michael Jackson had that monster team behind him. I mean, he came from the Motown background. He had, Quincy Jones.
Quincy.
Exactly. He can always go back to anyone from like the Motown time frame. And then on top of that, like he had, Rod Templeton writing. He had legends writing for him as well as being a fucking monster at writing himself. Mm-hmm. So like, there was like he grew up with greatness. Shout out to all the children of all the child abuse victims, but he grew up and was forced into greatness. It's just from everything that he goes through, but it actually paid off. It definitely paid off for what he and at least one of his siblings did.
Can I pose a question to the group just real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is where
what you got.
This is where it goes.
No, because Toto, like Africa is fine. It's fine.
Okay,
But
first of all,
how
What you hold on, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
How do you put Africa above hold the line, dog?
I understand your question. It's been posed before by less stronger people, is what I would say. For me, at first it's like it's bolted in with nostalgia, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, like for me musically, it hits all the points. Like the intro, it comes in dun, 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 dun,
Okay.
simplistic, and then you put the strawberry glaze on it with the you know, and then it's like the chorus comes in and you're like, gonna take a lot to drag me away from you.
All right.
Like, this is how my daughter came out the womb. I'm not kidding.
Now wait.
She was in the wrong position for almost 20 hours of labor. My wife was like, that's it. She got to go. I was like, I got you. Africa by Toto. The doctor, I'm not kidding. The doctor walked in and she's like, she's ready. I was like, yes.
Lavender's origin movie.
Lavender's origin story
in Africa.
Think I'm playing
I have a question. Hold the line. Is it possible that I've heard it before and I just don't know it?
Yeah, everybody knows it. Hold the line. Dun, 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 dun. Love isn't always on time.
Oh yeah,
whoa.
Yeah, I know that song.
Hold the line.
But it's not Africa by Toto.
It's a superior song by Toto.
Well, wait. But then we get to Phil Collins in there tonight, like with the drums when it comes in and the drum.
No, I get what you're saying. But Africa by Toto, for me, I don't tell anybody else that it's it's the best song.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that is the number one song.
Everybody wants to rule the world, though, dog. Come on.
Tears of Beers?
Yes.
Is that where we're going?
No, okay, hold up. I know you're not going to diss the local legends of Hall and Oates. Come on now.
Everyone likes Hall and Oates.
Man Eater, but then Part-Time Lover plays in my head. So they still take an L to Stevie Wonder. Listen to Man Eater.
That is true. That is true.
But wait, Man Eater isn't even I feel like their best song though.
I'm just saying.
It's not. It's actually low end for them.
It's low. It's still in their top top 5.
Yeah.
It's on their greatest hits.
But no. No, just leave me alone, man. I'm staying. I'm comfy.
I'm gonna let you live.
I'm here. I'm comfy. All right, man. This is why we don't talk about this stuff on the Blerd Bar.
I was about to say, but to your point, why we don't talk about it on the Blerd Bar, I think that might overload.
It would, because I think we're very diverse in how far we all expand into it.
Yeah, and
Sterling being an expert.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm not an expert. I don't have a degree. Please don't listen to him. Please don't listen to him.
We can already easily, given the right topic and the right review, we can have 2-hour episodes, right? So it's
or longer,
yeah, or longer.
We cut them off because it's we could talk about it forever. So I think if you threw in music with it, it would.
I'd never seen my wife and child.
I wouldn't edit that episode. I'd be like, this shit's just going out. Straight from audio to fucking Spotify. It's
God bless everybody.
Yeah.
That'd be our lowest listened to episode. Mm-hmm. They're just I'm not listening to 6 hours of them talking. I'm not doing it.
You'd be surprised. People throw it on in the background and just chill, go on with the day. It may take, 17 days of sitting, but
hey, a view is a view. A listen's a listen. All right.
Exactly. Now, my question that I really need to know is first of all, when is that the season finale? Because I know it's coming up, dropping. And then next, have you guys even started to brainstorm for the next season?
You're getting into behind the veil.
You're right.
I
got y'all on here for that.
Trying to look behind the veil and shit.
I respect it because he was I got them on here because I want these questions.
You can't go nowhere.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
And then on top of that, my fans need to know about your stuff, and you gotta draw them in. Come on, what you got?
Episode 10, because we do 10 episodes a season. That's dropping. I would say that's dropping in about 2 weeks, maybe. Is that a safe bet?
Nice?
Yeah.
You the production team, homie. You tell us.
It's about 2 weeks.
It's about
you gotta
2
record it, yeah.
Recording and then producing. I think about 2 weeks it'll be. And what was the second question?
Have you guys started brainstorming for season 3 at all?
A bit. We've been focused more so on the building the fan base at the moment. So, season 3, the plans to have a Patreon, some other things with that. We're also breaking up Booze News and Reviews as its own episode
from the main content.
Okay.
So like race, what was it? Pandering versus inclusion would be its own episode. Booze News and Reviews would also be its own episode. So you can ping.
Okay. Now, I do like. Oh shoot! There was. You know what? I totally lost my train of thought and forgot where I was going. So you guys continue.
Got him. Not get behind his veil.
That's right.
Pay no attention to the 3-headed dragon behind the curtain.
Right.
If we talk slow enough,
don't move. His vision is based on movement.
But yeah, no, it should be a lot of fun. I do think that it's, as of right now, it's more of an admin focused thing going in for the next couple of weeks to a month and a half. But then we'll be hitting. You'll definitely know when we're hitting that 3rd season and when that's all dropping.
Well, that's good. And your social media presence is amazing. It's something that I inspire to do eventually. I don't know who's in charge of that, but I'm guessing all of you.
Sterling is doing he's the force behind it.
He's point man.
All post.
Yeah,
we do all post.
We all post, but Sterling, the reason, and very small backstory, because I don't know if Sterling knows or not. I was highly frustrated with the lack of determination Sterling had at first for it, because Sterling was just like, I don't know what you guys want me to do.
Oh, we just.
That's not what I sound
like. You do.
This is the red table talk right here.
I was like, oh shit, he could do
he was
voice acting for a Sterling cartoon.
No,
he was just like, you guys, I'm very honored by the idea of that, but I don't want to do it. And I was like, well, Sterling, you're the meme guy. Sterling, if you are friends with Sterling on actual Facebook, his presence is heavy. And I'm like, why are you not doing this for the Blerd Bar? And he's like, well, what would I do? The same thing you're doing now. What are you talking about?
This is a Sterling intervention.
I want everybody to know. Right. This is a dramatization. All right, this is not how the conversation
went. Tell me I'm wrong. He literally shot it down with, I don't think I'd be good at it. Okay.
No, that's true.
Okay.
No, you're doing an amazing job. I'm seriously envious. I wish that I could keep up. And then I'm just like, I got my own social medias, and then Muvioes and Polly,
no, legit. And I think that goes back to us all having lives and whatnot. We all have personal accounts or whatever, and then we have the Blerd Bar account. And it's I thank you for saying that, but I'm sure that us three are still all damn, we should post more. We should be doing more.
Big slack.
It's
big
just
slack.
It's crazy. So just love yourself where you are. Focus on that current step, and then
we get a follower a week, and that for that we're grateful.
There you go.
If we would like that to be 10 a week, but
listen, baby,
we'll get there when we get there.
Exactly. You guys are doing a great job. So listen, I am just amazed at everything that you guys are doing. Keep up the good work.
Hey, direct that praise to Sterling, man. Because listen,
well, I'm not
Sterling is the most conscious person that I know, and so if he's posting,
that's why he's HR.
That's why he's also HR. So,
but I'm not just referring to the social media. I'm referring to the whole thing, the podcast. I still would probably be Sterling.
Sterling be sending texts hey, you got content out.
I'll take that praise for the editing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like
I think one thing that it's really great, and I'll always be vocal about, is that working with this team, it's so awesome that these gentlemen have such great relationship structure. And it's like good relationship principles. Keith, I know I don't have to tell you this. Listeners, I know them. Good relationship principles go across the board. So while we are friends, I never feared at any point of like, oh, well, what if things get weird and we stop being friends? Like, we communicate well. We have the strong conversations. That's one of my favorite things about working with both of these gentlemen, is that like they don't balk at strong conversation. We approach it respectfully. We get it resolved. And sometimes when you need a kick in the pants, Dan will very just be like, hey, just checking in. Make sure, and that's it, you know. I can voice act. Okay, it's my turn now.
It's for real. You should hear the first conversation I have. I'll be like, "Hey, yo, Josh, can you tell Sterling? Because if I say it, I'm gonna say it wrong."
And I'm like, "Nah, you're gonna say it fine. You're gonna do it fine."
Right. But then Josh is like, we'll just talk," and then I'll be like, "All right." So then I end up saying it. I'm like, "Oh, hey, Sterling, by the way, yeah, no,
hey man, I noticed
no pressure."
I noticed, I think we can all post a little more on social media. But in all seriousness, these guys are locked in. These guys are laser focused, and they're so future minded. That's one of my favorite things. Like, whenever I've talked to people about podcasts, people are like, "Oh, we get together, we talk about stuff, we record it on our phones, like, whatever." Like, Dan came in like really clear.
I want a bar.
He knew really clear. He has
the bands.
Dan is also our chief technology and chief information officer. He already had the tech. He already knew about the importance of quality, about like how we strive to put out something that's a step above, and that's a big part of Dan's vision. That's a big part of Josh's vision. And I really love working with these guys, man. Straight up.
So Dan wasn't putting up with my quality of work.
That's not.
Dan was like, listen.
Wait a minute.
If your podcast sounds like Muvioes podcast, no. And if your camera looks like that, you can't be on season 2.
It wasn't you, but there was another podcast that
stop.
we were like,
so
we'll get this in post.
No, I mean, legit.
We listen to other podcasts because we want to know, like, okay, this is what people are listening to. This is the quality that people are listening to. Let's see if we are on par, or like if we could do better, or if not, like if we don't have the budget to do better, what can we do?
Right. And like, where's the standard at where we can meet it? And so that's kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of your favorite podcasts?
I really like this one. It's three guys, 3 black guys from Philadelphia. They get together, they talk about like video games and movies, and then there's other podcasts. That's a good one. Really cool guy, tackles current events. A great father, great black man, kind of bald. There's a couple I listen to.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, Muvioes is on my list now because one, you came out swinging. You came out swinging with supporting us, and I was like, and the moment Sterling was like, "Hey, this guy's been rocking with us since day one," I'm like,
he really has. The shout outs, dude. Right. I can't tell you how it, like, my heart, I couldn't take where you're like, "Yeah, go listen to the Blerd Bar." I was like, my man.
So then Sterling put us on, and I was like, all right, well, I reciprocate, especially when it's like blackness, love, all that stuff. So I'm like, reciprocate. Then I was like, oh, he got a lot of episodes. But I was like,
yeah, you don't have to do all that.
No. But I was like,
just start from the
beginning.
Last 3.
Yeah. But I started before this whole Blerd Bar thing came together. Black Tribbles, obviously, epic. Until I was like, I want to do my own thing. So I stopped listening to them because I was like, I don't want to ever bite.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with Head Nerds in Charge. I was listening to them for a while. Then I was like, want to do my own thing. And I you know what? I actually tried to get in touch with some of them, and they were just like, So I was like, I'm gonna just do my own thing. for real. And Sterling's just like, don't do it. So,
we'll get it in post. It's fine.
Don't worry. No, I mean, but it wasn't negative. It was just like it didn't happen. Right. So
No,
at the end of the day, now I listen to like very story-based podcast. What's this one? It's a Dungeons and Dragons one.
Ooh.
It plays in the background, but for the most part, everything right now, because we're so focused on Blerd Bar,
right?
I don't want to ever take styles away. I'm more looking at like technique. So I watch a lot of stuff in bits and pieces and see, oh, okay, they're doing this. I like that. How can I achieve the same thing? So
yeah, I think that's one of the hardest things with listening to podcasts, especially if they're so closely related to what you're doing. Listening to podcasts for the enjoyment of it as opposed to like picking out like, yeah, right, and like, oh, I like that, I'm gonna use that, or like not trying to, as Dan said, like bite off of them and like, you know, do that whole thing. Black Tribbles was one that I listen to every now and again. I will say, when you came on our episode and you were like, reviews, I was like, oh shit. He's like, oh shit. Like I was like, we gotta it.
Right. We gotta go do something about this.
Yeah, like so like that's when I started listening. And then actually outside of that, for better or for worse, I was listening to like a lot of Dave Ramsey. And
hey, shout outs to Pass the Vibes. We listen to
Pass the Vibes. I listen to them.
Definitely that trash podcast. It's a trash podcast. Shout outs to Pass the Vibes.
No, that was great. I also listened to Dead Time Stories with the Z.
Dead Time Stories.
I listened to them quite a bit. So it's a like in Dead Time. So Dead Time Stories is like they talk about ghosts and like haunted shit and like ghost killers and
that's right up my alley. That's all I do.
You should definitely check them out.
You would definitely check them out.
You would like.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's ghost stuff. Dave Ramsey is financial.
I know about that one.
Pass the Vibes is literally it's kind of music based depending on how deep back you go into it. But then like it's also just like shooting the breeze kind of shit. So like that was a lot of fun. And then there's Muvioes. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's once it kind of like the music, there's like a wide range of stuff. Gary V every now and again. To get that
he motivates me to the point of frustration. So sometimes I'm just
you can't listen to a lot of Gary V and not do nothing because you will yourself.
I'm like, why, Gary? I'm like, I'm in the bathroom right now. Give me a moment.
So yeah. Yeah, that's probably what I listen to the most. Honestly, a lot of the times if I'm not listening to a podcast, I'm listening to like just music in general, just to like get me through the day. Cause like, you know, 9 to 5 working from home, like I'm in my office right now. And then also, I want to start listening to like audiobooks, like in the car as well. So that's been something I've been looking into.
I listen to the Blerd Bar a lot, actually, like outside of like I'll just go back to our older episodes and be like, this was a great time. But I also listen to like, okay, what could I have done better here? I listen to the Blur Division. I listen to the Blerd Girl. She's really, really awesome.
She's really good. I was about to say that. I didn't want to interrupt you. I was like, Blerd Girl. Like,
she's really, really awesome. She had a interview with Orlando Jones. She was hilarious. I listened to Three Little Weebs, which is another Black, but they're focused on, it's 3 of them. They're Black. They focus on anime. I listen to Pass the Vibes, you know. we support out here,
podcast,
you know.
Man.
So I listen to Ideal Tone, who's a really good friend of mine. Went to high school with him. He's definitely going to be on. I just picked up the D&D podcast because I'm playing D&D a lot more. And my friends have a D&D podcast called Alta Fabulae. And it's very like, it's not like really rules intensive, like they're mostly just having fun, but dude, it is hilarious, like from start to finish all the time. And I think that's it. All the Blerd ones I think I said, right? Because I listen to a lot of Blerd media because we are Blerd media, and it's nice to just interact with them like on various social media things. Like they do lives and I pop by as the Blerd Bar, you know, I was like, hey, what's up, you know.
We appreciate you doing that, man, because I knew nothing about that.
I was about to say that's case in point on why he's had on our socials.
Yeah.
HR and socials. That's Sterling.
Well, I have to get on to daddy duties pretty soon. But before I end this, I want to know, like, what can we expect with the future of the Blerd Bar? Like, especially with the pandemic coming closer and closer to the end. Like,
it's not gonna be over till 2024. Or at least I ain't going outside till 2024.
That sounds about right.
Y'all can do whatever y'all want.
I mean, we'll make sure you get video called in for any episodes.
I was about to say I'm getting my first shot this Saturday, and then second shot.
I'm jealous.
Whenever afterwards. But so I'm gonna be out there in the street.
I'm jealous.
But for the future of the Blerd Bar, I think Sterling led to this a little bit. Like, I've had this like very grand vision for the Blerd Bar, but the future of it,
Daniel's
hopefully, no, for real. There's this plan for me to pivot some of this into us being a production company.
I like that.
We're investing in all this equipment to obviously help others who want to, jump onto the field of podcasting or vlogging, things like that. And so either provide them with the assistance of consultation or tools, even film them for them, and eventually for that money to make its own money. So from there, maybe we own the name of the Blerd Bar. Maybe one day open up a Blerd Bar.
Hey, 13th and Market,
there you go. There you
13th
go.
and Market.
So
huh?
I don't know what's at 13th and Market that's available.
There was a diner there that has a bar built in. That's also a diner.
Oh.
Y'all ain't been looking at properties already? Okay.
No, I have, but bro,
they haven't been at 13th and Market. That's
for real.
all.
I was like, I knew that was out of my price range from the
also,
rip.
I've been looking more at venue spots because I think hosting a spot
at Blerd Bars at actual bars.
Yeah, like there's a down in South Philly is 2300 and something. It's by what is that? South Bowl.
Yeah,
it's by South Bowl and all that stuff. Hosting a spot there, it's like people know where to go, like they know that area, and it's just like, all right, we'll just host there, and then we can host like some other spot, and then we can host and that's to the steps to having our own spot.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, so like stuff like that, hosting parties and shit. I think having pop-ups, I think is a real thing that would be dope.
Some more immediate future stuff, lots of skits. We like to believe we're funny, so we're gonna test it out and see.
We're gonna try.
Everybody else see, lots of skits, lots of just random stuff on stories. Like, hey, look, we're shooting, and like Josh is like, please put that down. I'm like, all right, cool. And then it's going to be great when we start being able to do the local stuff, like having booze news and reviews at Two Locals, shout out to Two Locals, or other like at Veganish, or like other spots within the city.
Amalgam.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're basically gonna live at Amalgam.
Yeah, that's a great place actually. I like that place.
Call us.
Also, like, have you guys ever considered, like, I like your takes on some of the movies, like maybe
a movie night,
live streaming for people, like where you guys totally trashed Mortal Kombat.
We talked about a movie night.
Something like that. Because I know y'all going to trash it. Like,
here's the thing. Josh has to see the movie first before we can have a movie night, because apparently
Josh don't watch movies with us.
Oh yeah, Godzilla.
Right. This is
watch it by
funny.
yourself?
Apparently,
it wasn't just Godzilla. It was also
movies in general.
To make you feel better, it's always been this way.
Yeah, no, like you know what it was though. So it was before BC, right? BC 19. It was like it was an experience to go to the theaters, right? And it was just understood. And then C19 happened, and like I was actually talking about this with Laura, and it was like because we were talking about Philip, we were watching Philip DeFranco, and he was like I wonder where things are gonna go with with these streaming services like HBO Max dropping stuff like the same time they drop it in theaters. And it was like, we really like, we
don't need it.
Not to brag or anything, but like we have like a 70-inch TV screen. So it's like, if you invite like 2-3 people over, if you invite 2 or 3 people over, you got like, we already got drinks, we would have food, like we have our own like legit dine-in theater.
No MFers on their phones.
Like
nobody chewing popcorn loud.
So it's like some surround sound already set up.
Right. Like we're not like missing anything per se.
Josh, can you adopt me?
No, that's real though. And that's crazy because you said that, because I thought about it and I was like, as a person with misophonia, like I get triggered so bad in movie theaters. And I was like, I would love to get one of those like audio assistance things and just have the headphones in my ears. My wife was like, there's no way in hell you won't put those things in your ears and sit next to me. And I was like, okay, so
yes, dear.
Yes, dear. So
but yeah, no,
we're at home.
Legit, it was that whole thing. And like I've grown up to be a homebody because I just read books all the time. Shout out to Animorphs. But like, so I was already a homebody. So like C19 was just like, all right, like I got this theater and like we good.
Everybody else is like, I miss my friends, and Josh is like, oh.
I text y'all. I'll text you. That's fine. But no, so like it would be dope to have a movie night. I think I'm not saying that it would not be dope. I am saying that I would watch it again before we reviewed it on the podcast.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Like
on that note,
thank you.
Oh, seriously, I truly appreciate you guys taking this time for me to speak with me and speak with the people at the podcast. I wish you guys much success in the future. And like, I like your plan. As a matter of fact, like I myself thinking about like starting a second podcast sometime 2022, 2023. So like to hear your ideas and the network and like create your own network, like love it because that's been running through my head as well. So
yeah, you gotta have us back on because this was quick.
I mean, I don't do
especially compared to our videos. Like,
our podcast be long. I was like, oh, it's over now.
I'm gonna need another one, but
there's still sunlight out.
Like, there is. But yes, I would like to thank you all for listening to or watching another episode of the Muvioes podcast. For those of you who are watching it on YouTube, but I do
like,
this
comment,
once a
and
week.
Subscribe.
Yes,
always.
like, comment, subscribe. Why can't I speak right now? I don't know what it is. It's
I
daddy duties. That's what it is. I'm focused on that. But yeah,
real quick before we wrap up, we gotta shout out. Thank you, Keith. Your
man.
Was awesome. Yeah. Yes, you. Yeah. You come at it. You call a spade. You break down. I love your breakdown and your takes as a Black man, as a father, as a Black father in America. I absolutely love it. I love it as a non-monogamous person. Shout out.
Yes. Yes.
We appreciate you. Thank you,
man.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I take the flowers. Yeah, my partner came in and like tapped the wrists, and my son needs to eat. So,
that means you got it. You should have went live.
You should have been going. You should have ended the call.
Yeah, come on, end this shit.
But yes, thank you.
Far more useful to us alive.
Yes, thank you all. And like again, I do this once a week. You can tune in on. Actually, how can we find you guys?
Oh, the Blerd Bar at the Blerd Bar.
Blerd Bar, Instagram, Facebook,
everything. At the Blerd Bar for social media.
Legit, this was cool. If you go to YouTube and type in the Blerd Bar, we do pop up. So
yeah, we do. You can Google us now.
They do.
We out here, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got check out their merch because their merch is amazing. As a matter of fact, Sterling just showed one of the shirts.
We'll shoot you the link. Keith, so you can have it,
like the hoodie. So
Keith, you got to go though.
You gotta go, bro.
I gotta go. So
gotta go.
Thank you all, and yes, I love you guys. Just keep doing what you're doing.